Welcome, everyone. So good to see you today. We're going to do some foundation work today. Foundation work is something that's great for beginners or for people to review, or if maybe you've had an injury, it's a great time to go back to the basics and learn the details of how to do some of the fundamentals to Pilates. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll lay on our back first. We're going to begin with the pelvic tilt. This is what we call a neutral position here of the pelvis. So it's the natural curvature of your low back. You're not pressing your back into the mat. Another way you can think of it is your pubic bone and your hip bone should be in the same plane as each other. So this is a pelvic tilt where your pubic bone's higher than your hip bones. You can see my fingertips are up. And this would be a pelvic tilt the other way. So we'll just start in a neutral position. The pelvic tilt we're going to do is when your hip bones come closer to your ribs. And then the pubic bone and tailbone start to go up towards the ceiling. So I'm putting my hands here so you can see my fingertips will go higher than the hip bones. You can see how the fingertips are up higher than my thumb now. And then we'll go back to neutral. So it's just a little tip of your pelvis. Fingertips going up, hip bones going towards your ribs, and back down. Now, sometimes some people think you're supposed to push your back into the mat. I prefer to think of pulling your hip bones towards your ribs, using the muscles between the hips and ribs. So you could do this, set your fingers on your hip bone and on your rib, and then draw those 2 points closer together. That'll help engage the abdominal muscles between your hips and your ribs. And then go back to neutral, and we'll do it again. Pull those 2 points closer together. The pelvis will tip, but you're engaging your abs. You want to use your abs for the pelvic tilt rather than use your glutes. So it's not like this. I'll see this a lot where you're pushing your back. People push their back into the mat. It's just a nice little tip like that. All right. So we use the pelvic tilt to go into the bridge up. Let's do that now. So do a little pelvic tilt. Now press your feet firmly into the ground. Rather than pushing your back into the mat, I want you to pull with your glutes right now up away from the mat and bring each vertebrae off the ground one at a time till you get to your shoulders. You can see the shoulders open here. I like to keep a nice straight line here. The focus on lengthening through the front of your thighs, out that way towards the window. Crown of your head reaches back that way behind you. So you're creating this length. So there's not a lot of arching, right? We're not going to go super high, knees out to the side. We're going to stay nice and straight. And then coming down, shoulders stay open. You use your upper back muscles to do that. Hold your shoulders in place. And I'm gently coming down, but I'm lengthening and reaching away from me rather than just pushing down into the mat. It's like you gently unfold yourself, unfold your neutral pelvis, or sorry, your pelvic tilt right back to neutral, and then go again. So do your pelvic tilt, abs do that part, glutes and hamstrings now work as you peel and create that length away from your shoulders and your head. Breathe in, and then those shoulders stay open as you slowly roll back down, creating length. So you're still reaching and reaching towards your feet, creating space between each vertebrae. Undo the pelvic tilt back to a neutral pelvis. All right, let's go again. So abs initiate, your tailbone lengthens towards your feet. Now use your abdomen or use your glutes to pull up. Roll your hamstrings all the way up to your shoulders. Pause here. Feel the strength in your legs, the reach and the length in your front body. This is the strong in the back body. And then roll it back down, actively using your core muscles to gently place your vertebrae down without pushing into the floor. Good. Okay, next we're going to start to do a tabletop position with the legs. So for this, I'm going to draw the abs in and tighten them into a teeny little pelvic tilt and bring one leg up over the hip. If you feel like your back arches when you lift your leg, then do a deeper pelvic tilt. You don't want your back to arch as your leg lifts. That will put stress in your back. So you do as much of a tip as you need. Remember, that's your abs, not your butt doing it. And hold that as you lift your leg up and then right back down. Lift your other leg and right back down. Your goal is to keep your pelvis still. If it starts to move, then go into a little bit of a deeper pelvic tilt, right? And maybe don't lift your legs so high yet. You want to hold nice and stable in your pelvis with your abdominal muscles doing the work to hold the pelvis still. Good. And back down. Now, if you lifted both legs, that'd be a full tabletop. That's twice as hard. So draw your abs into that little pelvic tilt, float one leg up, and then slowly, this is the hard part, float the other leg up. The second your foot leaves the ground, if you feel this arch happen where you get space back here, then you're not ready for both legs yet. So keep practicing the singles. Or you could bring your knees a little closer to your chest, and that helps too to keep the abs on. Here you can hold. You can also do some toe taps. This is a great way to start strengthening those muscles that you need to be able to hold a nice tabletop so it works your core and does not put strain in the back. Shoulders stay open. Let's do 4 more. And maybe you don't even go all the way down, just part way down, right? Strengthening without the abs without straining your back. Great. Now set one foot down all the way and then set the other one down. And then do a nice little stretch for your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in and do a little side to side rock. Okay, let's come up to hands and knees. And we'll go over the cat-cow now. So we'll start in another neutral position of the pelvis, right? You're going to begin your movement from your navel, from the pelvis. So think of it as the navel drawing up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to go one vertebrae at a time, leading from your navel to your tailbone goes that way, and then from your navel towards your head goes the other way. And then you'll slowly work your way through your whole spine until you get to your head. And then your head is the last thing to go. Stay here, take a breath in and out. Now to reverse, imagine there's a string attached to your navel and there's a plumb line here. So your plumb line drops to the floor. This is where you start the movement from your pelvis. So you draw your navel down, navel to tailbone goes that way, navel to head goes this way. And the head is the last thing to go. So go ahead and start from the pelvis. Draw in, sequentially work through each part of your spine so you're not skipping any parts. Head goes last. Take a breath in. Go again. Start from your pelvis. Try not to skip that midsection of the torso. That's where we really need to do some extension. And again, from your pelvis, right? Don't let the head just drop. Wait until you've gone through the rib cage area, then the shoulders, then your head is last. Start from your pelvis, lengthening in your spine, creating this nice reach and extension. You don't want to skip any of that. And then back to a neutral position. Now we're going to do opposite arm leg extension. So push the floor away with your arms. Draw your abs up towards your spine, but staying in neutral. So your abs go up to the spine, hug, and stay there. And then press the top of your foot, left foot into the ground gently, and slide the right leg back. From here, go ahead and lift your leg. Hold. And then draw the opposite arm out in front of you. Palm faces in rather than down, in towards your midline. Push the floor away. Take a deep breath in and then slide your hand and your leg back in. Imagine you have a bowl of water right on the back of your pelvis, right here, and you don't want to spill it. So as you switch sides, you still keep the bowl of water still. Draw your abs in, push the floor away, slide one leg back all the way first, and then where you're going to lift from is right here, the gluteal fold. So hamstring and glute, that is what's going to lift your leg up. And then take your opposite arm, breathe, and then slide back in without spilling your water. And then the water's still there, you go to the other side. Abs pull up to your spine, you push the floor away, breathe in, and slide back in. You still have the water on your back. And abs in, holding your pelvis stable, and reach. We'll do one more each side. Come back in, extend, hold, slide back in. Last time. Push out and back in. Nice. Let's go ahead and sit into a little child's pose. Sit back towards your heels, head down, forehead rest on the mat if it reaches. Deep breath in. Exhale, let everything release to the ground. Inhale, exhale, get nice and heavy. One more. Good, then stack your spine all the way back up. Whew. All right, good job, you guys. Thank you for joining me today. If you want the full, longer version of that video, I do have a membership, and you can see that in the link down below. Thanks for being here today. Nice job, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.